Hello everyone. I'm Yatish Kuril, founder of Yatish ManageMentor show. I welcome you all. About this show, in this show normally I invite distinguished faculties, experts and successful entrepreneur who speaks on best practices used in the companies, then ideas, innovations, research and insights for small medium enterprises and family managed businesses. Today I have guest Dr. Hima Gupta. She is a professor of operation and director MBA at IILM Gurgaon, at Gurgaon. So I welcome Dr. Hima Gupta. Hello, doctor. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, hello.
Yeah. I welcome you to my show.
Thank
So
you.
I think so. Today you are going to speak on growth trends and global cost inflation. Can you first before beginning? Can you let us know more about yourself?
Okay. So, good morning, everybody. I'm Dr. Hima Gupta. Right now, I am working in IILM Gurgaon University as a director MBA program and professors in the operations management. So, my niche area is operations management, and due to area of operations management, my interest, my inclination is this: how the companies they are working, what are the things which they consider while they are going for operations, why they are thinking of doing any manufacturing activity or service organization. So always I seek forward, I look forward, what are the things which are at present running, and what are the things which will run in the future time period. Because due to COVID pandemic, things have changed a lot. Since last 1.5 year, everything has changed, whether it is household thing, whether it is working life, official life, or whether it is related to the business organization. So there is a drastic change in terms of working. All these entities they have started thinking in a different manner. So today I will try to talk about what are the different growth trends which are prevailing, and plus there is a inflation because of pandemic and post pandemic. We are finding there is a lot of inflation and it is impacting our businesses a lot, as well as the people those who are living in a family, they are also finding very difficult in terms of this particular post pandemic scenario. So all these things I will discuss today itself. And the first thing is this: inflation. Very, very important point which one has to understand, and it is impacting in each and everybody's life. So how, what is the role of inflation in the normal human being and in the businesses also? So it is impacting the businesses, it is impacting the public organizations as well, and the government itself. So whenever the companies they are finding and the consumer they are finding the price increase is there. So price increase, whether it is related to the energy prices, whether it is related to the foods, product, services, which a normal consumer they are prevailing, they are consuming, it is increasing. Then at that time they think what way we can cover up that inflation part. So normally the impact of this inflation we generally see in terms of cost of living. So the cost of living is going to increase drastically. Similarly, when we are seeing the inflation impact, the cost of doing business is also going to be impacted. See, whenever the businesses they are running the businesses, they are dependent on so many things. They require energy, they require manpower, wages, and they require certain materials to run the business. So, inflation, of course, it is impacting the businesses also. The particular cost of production, which was coming before inflation, before post pandemic, it has changed now drastically. So it is impacting the cost of doing business also. Another thing which is affected by the inflation is cost of borrowing money. So people are finding it is difficult to borrow the money. The cost is very, very high. Mortgages that has already increased to some extent. Another which we are finding in terms of inflation impact, corporate and bond yields that has also impacted a lot because of inflation. Now, when we are talking about inflation, some people are getting gain out of inflation, some people are getting loss. So, who all are there at a losser stage, and who all are there at a winner stage? So, if you talk about the losers, who all are the loser because of inflation? We can see the services. So much you can say the impact of inflation on different services, whether it is travel services, whether it is banking services, whether it is entertainment kind of services, whether it is educational services. So they are getting a lot of, you can say, impact is there in terms of inflation. So they are getting revenue loss, they are getting less customers to avail those services because of, you can say, COVID, post COVID, it has impacted a lot. Another thing is that you will find people are going on variable rates. Borrowers are basically thinking on the variable rates when they are finding, they are thinking in terms of getting the loans from the different banking, different institutions. So they want the loan and the rate which are basically existing, it should vary, not a fixed kind of thing. So another thing, this is there, and very important part, which is exporter. See, our India basically depending and how they are getting the exchange, the monetary things, how it is balanced through the export only. So when we are talking about the inflation, we are finding the exporters become what, competitive, less competitive due to inflation. So when the exporters, they are finding it is less competitive, they are finding it difficult to replace in terms of exporting the goods and the product to the other country. So these are the entities basically they are finding a great loss due to inflation. Now we will, if we talk about the winners, there are so many people they are getting, you can say, gain due to inflation. If you talk about the people, those who are giving the loans, those who are giving some sort of debts, they are at the gain, you can say they are at a better stage, because when the prices are high, they are in a better position to charge the high price and they are getting benefit out of it. Similarly, the owners, those who are having some sort of any fixed assets, land, homeowners, they are also getting advantage because of inflation. So right now, I have talked about the inflation impact. When we talk about the trends, which are the trends which are prevailing during the present time period post COVID-19 pandemic, there are many trends which are prevailing and which are upcoming, which one should tap or which one should target in terms of get the businesses. So first thing, if we talk about the prevailing trend is consumer spending. See, every businesses are dependent upon the consumer spending. So if the demand is there, manufacturer or service sector people, they will provide the services and the manufacturer will produce the goods and product. So the spending, the demand comes from the consumer. So when we talk about the consumer spending, maximum people during the COVID-19 time period or post-pandemic time period, if you see, they are interested in spending their money in terms of essential goods, food items, or something which is related to the health. Very few people are going for buying something which is called as luxurious items. They want that can be postponed if it is possible. Until unless it is very much essential, very much needed, required, then only they go and purchase those things. So if you see the spending and the trend where the consumer is putting up, investing their money, it is towards those items which are needed immediately. So the decline we are finding, 40% decline is there in terms of the consumer spending post pandemic, post COVID. Another thing which we are finding is we are trying to see, okay, there is a push in terms of purchasing the other items, and companies, they should look forward, they should come forward to promote their product so that customers will come forward. They have to provide some sort of discounts in terms of providing some cushion to the customer. So this is very important first trend which is related to the consumer spending. Second thing, if we talk about the GDP. So if you see, the GDP rate is not very encouraging and people are trying to boost up the GDP during the post COVID pandemic time period. So how the GDP can be strengthened? So one, if we encourage the manufacturing units to come forward and do the output, see, during the COVID-19 period, many units, they have stopped production. So what is the stress and what is the companies like government of India, they should think of it, how they can push, how they can, you can say, encourage the people, those who are associated with the businesses, manufacturing unit, they come forward, they start production. And especially if we talk about the GDP which is coming from the service sector and the manufacturing, and again in manufacturing, if you talk about automobile, so 50% of the GDP contribution is coming from the automotive sector. Right now, during the pandemic time period, we have seen the automobile sector that has got a boost in terms of demand, because when we have seen the pandemic situation, people earlier were interested in going by public transportation. They, if they were going to the office, they were very comfortable in using some private taxis, using Ola Uber facility. But since pandemic has happened, that crisis has impacted a lot in terms of these businesses. And now people are like consumers, they are normal people or office going people, they are preferring why to use the public transportation. They should they want the thing at their own level. So they want to buy the automobile, whether it is two-wheeler, four-wheeler. So demand has increased exponentially. So when the demand has increased, naturally the manufacturing unit should start production as per the required demand, and they have to match all these things. So the GDP will come from all these places, manufacturing units, from the service sector. So this is another very, very, you can say, pushing trend, how to improve the GDP of our India, as well as what are the things which government has to do just to increase or boost the manufacturing unit production. Third thing, if you talk about, that is very, very important, the export part. So the manufacturing is happening, the export sector, the government should provide some packages to boost the export, so that the many more people will come forward and they will do the export thing, which has stopped during the pandemic time. So right now many things we are talking in terms of the pandemic and post pandemic scenario, because everything has changed during this 1.5 year time period. When we talk about the other trend that is very, very important, is rural economy. Many things driven through the rural economy. So the urban people, the urban production people, guys, and urban business organizations, they think about this, where our economy, rural economy is like concentrated. So many things are coming from the agriculture sector, food grain production. And during this pandemic time, we have found this has got a good jump in terms of the agriculture, food grain. Agriculture sector has got a good jump, good boost in terms of the production of the food grain items. Reason being good monsoon. So when the monsoon was good, so they have got a jump, they have got a, you can say, boost in the production, and automatically everything is driven through the agriculture sector. Economy is driven. So the urban people, they should also concentrate how what to do in terms of boosting this particular sector itself. Very another important part which we see, what where the growth trend is basically moving, and you can say inclining. Another very, very important portion that is there in terms of the rise of working women during the pandemic time. Many people, those who were not working earlier, they have started joining the labor workforce. So work from home, that is permissible, and nowadays everybody is working on from the online system. So many more women started participating in the working class community, and that is going to contribute directly or indirectly towards our GDP. So which is going to give incremental growth in our GDP. So, what is the thing? It is going to supplement the income of the family. It is going to supplement the organization, labor workforce, which is a challenge right now. They are finding very difficult. They are passing through a very difficult time period in terms of getting the labor, in terms of getting the workers just to run the productions. So, when the community, female women will come forward to support the system, definitely it will give supplement, or it will give incremental growth towards our GDP. Second thing is informal economy. Informal economy, there is a organized sector, unorganized sector. So informal economy is coming through the unorganized sector. So everybody should think of it, what to do in terms of supplement, support the unorganized sector, or one can say, or one can consider the small and medium enterprises. So many things come from that particular sector itself. So they are going to develop in terms of unique model just to sustain and develop a kind of culture which is going to revive the situation in terms of the growth. So the credit facilities, government is also supporting some sort of, you can say, promotional thing they are doing, and they are providing credit facilities to all these people, those who are working in the unorganized sector. You might have heard about the news where government has announced a credit facility to the street vendors. So our government is also towards this side, and they are also want yes, unorganized sector should come forward. They are also participating in the country growth. Another very important point when we are talking about the informal economy, which is derived through unorganized sector, that is how we can do the reskilling. See, many people, those who are working in the unorganized sector, they are not having a proper skill, and they are not working, and they are not basically educated as per the requirement of the businesses. So our stress, our concentration should be how we can do the reskilling part. So the bodies, the agencies, they should come forward to reskill these guys, those who are involved in the unorganized sector. Another very, very important point is work from home. That becomes a new norm in the present time period after the COVID. So when the work from home that is prevailing, it is helping in terms of many fold. There are so many things which are coming because of work from home system. See, one, when the organization, they are basically encouraging the employee, they can work from home, they can do work online through their home itself. Virtual working is basically happening. Then in that case, the organization, they are getting their cost is saved because of not opening the physical offices, electricity cost, infrastructural cost, that is going to be saved. And another part is what the flexibility is there in terms of the employee end. So they are also getting a lot of flexibility due to work from home option. In terms of this service organizations, they are basically working in the industry 2.0 module. So, what is the thing which is required when everything is digitalized in terms of the manufacturing unit, in terms of the service organizations? So, what all they have to bring into the system, which is required when every organization thinking and looking forward in a virtual kind of operational system. This is another trend which is prevailing in terms of the Indian economy all over India and outside India as well. Another very, very important thing is what consumers become what digital friendly. So earlier they were going to the shops to purchase, to buy any product. Now everything is available online only. So they are thinking, they are selecting, sorting the product online system, through online system, and payment is also through mobile applications, digital payments. So this is another norm which is happening, and uh, companies, see, during post COVID time period, we have seen the supply chain has got disrupted. So when they want the supply chain system should be robust, they have to use technology. So what type of technologies that should be used by the supply chain partners? That is, they can apply AI, artificial intelligence, in terms of the supply chain solutions. They can use big data. They can use IoT system just to make the supply chain system robust. And if they are finding any challenges in terms of deliveries or in terms of giving the goods to the, or offering the services to the consumer, they can use all these you can say technological solutions, technological enabled solution to provide better solutions to the customer. Another very, very important thing which we are seeing in terms of the prevailing trend is what Indian basically will consume, but with a twist. See, India, you will find the psychology. One has to read the psychology of the Indian customer. What they want, what is their inclinations, what they are looking forward. So, Indian brands, they have to design their strategy in terms of offering everything through the online system rather than thinking and doing everything traditionally. So this is a very, very important point. They have to come and they have to show their uniqueness, standing out of the normal brands or normal organizations. So what to do in terms of designing their strategy? The companies, they should think from that angle as well. So if they will think like this, the conversion will be very, very high. The customers, those who are watching, those who are searching the products online through the different website, it will be converted into the final customers. So these are the points which I want to highlight, which are prevailing and which are ongoing. So customers as well as organizations, everybody should like think from that angle during the post pandemic, during the after this pandemic scenario. What has changed? What was prevailing earlier, now it is not required. No more, no, nobody is interested in using the same traditional things. So where they have to put a stress on this during this post pandemic time, these are my concern, and these things I want to put forth to the audience. And I want that if they have any question, I am ready to solve their queries. So this is the thing which are there from my side. Mr. Yatish.
Yeah, right now nobody's there online, but they may view the recordings, and whenever
Okay,
they put up any comments, I may try to connect with you,
okay,
because there were two people were there, but they came and went away.
okay.
So
Fine.
it was your topic was very wonderful today, and you spoke very well. And I hope that this today's topic will be helpful to the people who are doing business globally or in India itself. So this may your and you spoke about trends as well as cost inflations, and also how to scale up their business by using a government, how governments are helping them to grow like that. It was very
Yes.
wonderful topic, madam, and
Thank you.
I hope people will like it. So, so I thank you for coming to my show and giving us a very good insights.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, so I end up with the live streaming.